Alright, good morning everybody. Or actually, technically, good afternoon. My name is Amphoreus, and I'm finally back with the next part of patch 3.2 in Honkai Star Rail. So, let's dive right into it. Should have a good solid 2.5 hours-ish. So that should be a nice play session. So, let's see where we go from here. Let's see, where we left things off, we had to switch back to Anaxa, or Anaxagoras, to be more respectful.
I've had enough of this. Could the 15th entry hour arrive any faster?
Okay. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, my. Could it be that the great tree painted in this mural is actually depicting me?
Every plant, every tendril, no, even every leaf could be the embodiment of Circe's.
As a result, mere mortals who did not know what the Titan actually looked like chose to paint them as a giant tree instead. Their wisdom was portrayed as fruit, to symbolize how they shared their knowledge equally among the masses. Such exquisiteness indeed.
This mural is quite abstract.
I really can't tell whether you are praising or demeaning yourself. Now I'm quite curious whether the Reason Titan has studied figures of speech before.
Of course I find such stylistic devices interesting. For all we know, this could be the answer to the question, what exactly are we?
I've been wondering, is that question referring to life as a whole, or the Titans?
I, for one, am not willing to admit that I could look this ugly.
Was this the reason why you failed in your attempt to refine my soul when you were ambushed at the Grove?
Find my soul.
Since you are aware of this, why did you save me back then?
From my perspective, this point alone was enough to separate you from the average person.
How do two lunatics coexist in the same brain?
Is he referring to himself as a lunatic?
Therefore, it seems that your journey to Dawncloud this time is not just to seek protection. What, then, is the intention behind your actions?
The entire plan is stored in my memory, so why don't you look there?
Then don't mind if I do. 1 year old, 2 years old. Oh my! Even a member of the preeminent 7 sages must hug his droma stall to sleep?
Aww.
How interesting.
That's enough.
How unusual. Your soul is actually trembling. This must mean that behind this toy hides a secret that nobody knows, right?
Since our days are both numbered, I don't mind telling you more about it. This is a present that my sister gave to me.
Aww.
It's a doll that was made to look like our family pet.
So there are other members in your family, eh? Are they also living in Akama?
Don't you just love to pick through my brain? Go on, continue flipping through my memories.
I get why this is being done from a storytelling perspective, because basically they're giving us a reason to learn more about Anaxagoras. But from like a just, I don't know, rational perspective, why doesn't she just look through everything if she's so curious? Like, whatever, let's just keep going.
It won't take long. You'll discover the answer when you reach the memories of when I was 5.
Oh, the black tide is everywhere. I can't bear to look.
When I was young, I couldn't accept this outcome either. Georios, Aquila, Kefali, and you, of course. Although I prayed to every titan that I could think of for help, my efforts were ultimately futile.
This... Could this be the inception of your research into alchemy?
Indeed it was. Everything started from that verdant courtyard of yours. When I was pursuing my education there, I naturally also came to learn of Thalesis' theory as well.
Oh, I remember that person. He was the one to come up with the concept of souls, right?
Not only that, he also believed that life, as well as the composition, movement, and transformation of matter, all stem from souls themselves. This is why I thought that, since all living things stemmed from the same origin, why could I not sacrifice myself in order to resurrect my nearest and dearest?
Anaxa, you...
I did it, teacher!
But this is absolute blasphemy. Regardless of how much freedom the Grove provides, such an act could cause you to be burned at the pyre. Your beloved, where is she now? Send her away from the Grove at once, to a place where nobody will ever be able to find her. Otherwise, the both of us will be judged by the Council of the Seven Sages.
Calm down, teacher. My sister, she's still not in the mortal realm, even to this day.
What do you mean?
It was naive of me to think that I could snatch the deceased from Thanatos' grip by merely sacrificing one eye.
Oh.
Equivalent exchange. All I received for that price was but an opportunity to see her for one final time. Nothing more.
Let it go, Anaxa. As one of my best students, I cannot watch you go down the wrong path without doing anything to stop it. Never do something taboo ever again. Don't disappoint the deceased, and never harm yourself. If you can do that, this classroom will still be yours, and you'll have a chance to live out your own life.
Since I was able to see her one last time, I have no other desires. You're right, teacher. It's time for me to start a new life.
I am sincerely glad for you, child. Now then, what topic would you like to study?
I wish to continue Thalesis' research.
Continue the research into souls, but you know that the Grove has long since understood his philosophy like the back of their hands. Even if you continue digging into this subject, your efforts will likely be futile.
No, teacher. After my fleeting glimpse of the deathly fog, I finally understood a single truth. Since ancient days, our understanding of the souls is but the tip of the iceberg. I may have lost an eye, but my view of the world has become clearer than ever. I have grasped the truth with my bare hands. Watch as I turn this farcical world upside down.
Who would have thought such a secret lay concealed beneath that hefty eye patch of yours? However, this story doesn't seem to be connected to your plan. In fact, I'd say that they aren't related at all.
The answer lies within the tale. If even you cannot understand it, perhaps you should relinquish the divinity of reason to me. After all, it'd be a waste for you to hold on to it. My story ends here. Now it's time for you to tell me your secret. After all, this is what equivalent exchange means, correct?
As expected, you laid a trap for me to step into. Unfortunately, even if I was willing to talk about my past, I may not know more about it than you do.
Oh? Are you saying that the renowned Reason Titan is now admitting a lack of wisdom? Your followers are going to be sorely disappointed by this.
Be more of a lack of knowledge than a lack of wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge, but if you don't have that knowledge in the first place, maybe she doesn't actually remember how she began.
Child of humanity, remember this. Being cognizant of one's ignorance is the greatest wisdom of all.
Now I understand. No wonder you asked me to answer your random, nonsensical questions.
Not only that, you're the only one who can shed light on my query. As the saying goes, onlookers see most clearly.
Is that so?
Lord Anaxa. I saw you muttering to yourself and was wondering whether you were caught in a delirium of reflective thought. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but time is of the essence. I have a message from Lord Lygus. Lady Kindness has met up with the Council of Elders and is awaiting your arrival, so please depart forthwith.
It's finally time.
Carefully. The one who created the world, and the one who bears the world. If you truly have not met your end, how will you answer the challenges of those who defy you?
I didn't expect you to agree to Lady Kindness's invitation. What a wonderful turn of events. To tell you the truth, there are many people who hold grudges against that Lady Goldweaver.
Just looking for butterflies.
All things are connected by origin, and are made of the same essence.
Pew! What's up here? Oh. These things are.
Isn't that the dromas draped in finery?
Avoid his gaze. I don't acquaint myself with blasphemers.
Don't worry. He's too full of pride to pay us any attention.
Your nickname is Dromus as well? You must really like those creatures.
Pew! The Great Lake cradled by a volcano. Here the world-bearing Skyfather spilled their golden blood into the mortal lake. The golden blood flows down with spring waters as dawn rises with the mists. No words ever break the solemn silence, and the volcano's heart beats no more. Oh, treasure chest.
I suppose I can just ignore this.
Oh, hello. Follow me, sailor. How many waves have we braved, and how many reefs have we crossed? Surely you remember those nights we kept watch on the mast, the pure moonlight spilling over the sails, the ship rocking gently as it glided across the dark sea. In those moments, I even dreamed of becoming a hero. Did you feel the same? Yes, yes. And now we are finally sailing again. Are you ready, sailors? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Aye, aye, Captain. Bzz. I was wondering if that was going to be a SpongeBob reference. I was surprised that it was, though. Okay, guess we're going through here. Yep. There we go.
A student of Empedocles? I hear that his views run counter to the Venerationists.
This is what being a scholar is about. A collision of ideas only occurs when there are differences in beliefs, and it is such collisions that lead to progress.
Yet, in my view, there are only right and wrong perspectives, neither of which can coexist with the other.
What radical thinking. I guess this is why the children of humanity always squabble with each other.
How boring.
You seem to be avoiding that Goldweaver person. Why don't you address her face to face?
I have nothing to talk about with her. Since you're in my brain, you can look for the reason yourself.
Oh, the leader of the Flamechase Journey and a demigod of Nestia.
You're really searching through my brain. What are you treating it as? Some sort of toy?
You just told her to.
Regardless, you think quite highly of her, no?
That's because I'm a teacher who grades everyone fairly.
I feel like there's some perspective issues here, because Kepali's hand was like over here-ish when we were looking at it from the other shore. Whatever, doesn't matter. Also, okay, Titan of Reason, and they're like, what radical ideas to think that there's right and wrong? Come on. Two contradictory things cannot both be true at the same time. It's the basis of, like, rational thought.
Lord Lygus and Lady Kindness are just ahead. I'll take my leave for now.
Okay. Let's look around here real quick. Any treasure chests or butterflies? Oh, what are these things? Butterflies, butterflies. There's the gold weaver, or garment maker. Oh, we got a puzzle. Seven. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that won't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, that won't work either. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that would work. Then I would have to do... Well, let's just try it. Let's see. Crap. No, it's not gonna work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. I suppose we don't need to end on the button. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Crap. That didn't work. I could just wait a bit longer, maybe. Would that work out? Go here. Up. Ah! Crap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Closer though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh crap, that would have done it, I think. That would have done it. Okay. Ah, there we go. That was a little tricky. Still want to know what these golden remains are for. And see any butterflies? I expect one somewhere around here. Pew! 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 Nope. Got little side areas here. What about this side? Oh. Okay, I was expecting a butterfly.
Welcome to the Demigod Council, esteemed guests.
Lord Anaxagoras. Oh, I've heard so much about you. Head of the Nusporists of the Grove of Epiphany, notorious blasphemer, a Chrysos heir who bears Circe's core flame, a survivor of the Grove calamity. Did I miss anything? Well, if so, please be so kind as to enlighten me.
Since Lady Kindness is already well acquainted with me, I won't waste any effort introducing myself again. But then again, perhaps the customs are different here. Back in my hometown, there is a form of etiquette known as honoring guests. The host will welcome their guest with warm hospitality by treating them to fine wine and a cozy bed. And yet, ever since I arrived, I have not been welcomed with warm courtesy or ceremonial gifts. Instead, I am met with intense scrutiny. Even more absurd, the host has sharpened their blade and instructed their servants to lie in wait in the shadows. Perhaps you intend to cut open my heart, retrieve the core flame, and then hold a grand feast for all of the guests.
Everyone, stand down.
Thank you for understanding. I am but a feeble scholar who is not used to the stench of avarice and blood.
No need to be humble, my lord. From my perspective, your courage and gumption are worthy of the reputation of the Seven Sages. Your bravery is more than adequate to accomplish our perilous endeavor.
So, you wish to start a war?
Well, since the Chrysos heirs are calling for war, we will respond in kind. Conflict is inevitable. Since Aglaya endeavors to suppress the virtuous commoners with blood of gold, we will not hesitate to display the rights and mettle the citizens of Akama are so entitled to.
Are they
As
suppressing
to your
you?
question of whether peace is still a viable option? Well, to that, I can only say this. Everything hinges on the next citizens' assembly and whether they have a sudden epiphany amid the clamor of the masses.
They are literally the ones responsible for letting you live in the lap of luxury while the world's coming to an end. Like, my goodness.
And since you, as a Chrysos heir, accepted our invitation, you have indeed given us a glimmer of hope.
What brazen arrogance. What you're saying right now is worlds apart from what you were saying before you retired your cleaners.
I don't deny it. After all, they're responsible for cleaning up any threats, and just a moment ago, you were on the side of the Chrysos heirs. But now that you're an ally of ours, we can continue talking somewhere else. As you know, these walls have ears. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to discuss a treatise about the Venerationists with your teacher, Empedocles. Yet, it seems you subscribe to the Nusporists instead, Lord Anaxa. I've heard that this school of thought is one with many detractors.
It's normal for ideas to have supporters and dissenters, just like how there are two types of people in this world, geniuses and dimwits.
All right, Dr. Ratio. Oh, look at that. The fire's behind the mountain. That's kind of funny. Still surprised I haven't seen a butterfly sooner, but... An assembly for mortal debates, a theater under the gods' watch. Here, at the center of all beings, we dare to listen, speak, and deliberate. Reason out rules, establish laws, and pronounce death. O gods, does this amuse you? I wonder what that big cube is. Hold that thought, Kindness. Oh. I literally can't go down. Okay, continue.
Welcome back to the hub of the Demigod Council, Lord Anaxagoras. Surely you remember that countless eloquent orators have stood in this spot before and emerged victorious by stoking public sentiment with their words. And yet there have also been innumerable blasphemous philosophers who set themselves up for failure because they refused to defend their actions. This tiny stage is the most profound embodiment of Akama in centuries. In 15 days, this site shall also become the most important, as well as the final turning point in Akama's history.
Sounds like there's a lot going on in 15 days. Anaxagoras might be dead by then. Apparently my opportunity for life will be over by then. And something to do with the council as well. And by the way, I see that core flame inside of that cube there.
May the both of us carry out our duties with honor and lead the masses back toward the Erechrysia, a golden age with no death, strife, or trickery.
They plan to make that happen.
Oh my, 15 days and nights. That aligns perfectly with the date of your demise. Could such a coincidence truly exist?
Not in this game.
Using death to prove myself fits my intentions perfectly.
What strong conviction you have. As expected of the hero who dared to stand up to the Gold Weaver.
As expected, she misunderstands you.
That's enough, Lady Kindness. Dispense with the niceties. I only accepted your invitation so that I can serve the commoners alongside the members of the Council of Elders. Don't test my patience with such superfluous formalities.
Well, you say that now, but surely you also require my aid as well, so that you can stay alive even when being pursued by the Golden Thread?
You worry too much. She won't show her hand too freely, as she still needs to garner support from the masses at the Citizens' Assembly.
Even someone like me can tell that only a sliver of her humanity remains. Surely you're not asserting that she will definitely act in a rational manner.
I would argue the opposite. The less humanity you have, the less for emotion to cloud your reasoning. Maybe. I don't know. Then again, it is our humanity that allows us to reason and just be different from beasts. But at least in this context, I feel like the less humanity, the more godhood, so I would expect that would be more rational, maybe? Anyway.
As you're no doubt aware, Aglaya covets the core flame that I possess, which makes it the bargaining chip that allows me and the rest of you to negotiate with her. However, in return, I'll need the Council of Elders to support me as much as possible. Naturally, this includes the guards as well. You're well aware how valuable Circe's core flame will be in the Erechrysia that you are desperately pursuing. Talk is cheap, so you'd better act prudently as well.
I understand. After all, this battle of wits is just a means for each party to acquire what they need. As long as your request is reasonable, the Council of Elders never shortchanges its allies. Since we're both intent on mutual cooperation, let's not mince words and just speak plainly to each other. Let us decide how much we can secure for ourselves and how much we're willing to sacrifice, like true philosophers, with our words and wisdom.
How about with action? Let's begin then. Where are we beginning?
Continuing from the earlier topic, let us discuss our common enemy, Aglaya. She is the second most experienced Chrysos heir across the whole of Akama,
who has gradually lost her humanity to the ravages of time and the ablation of the core flame. A formidable opponent indeed. Admittedly, there is ample reason for her to take your life. Yet your previous reasoning is quite sound. As a seasoned political animal, it's unclear whether she will actually cross that irreversible boundary. Moreover, she still needs you alive so that the Titan's trial can be completed. Is there anyone present who can swear by the sacred vow of Kefali and guarantee that you weren't in league with that woman before coming here? Are you just trying to pull the wool over our eyes and aid her in her savagery?
She is prepared to execute me. That I believe.
I believe you're aware of Castorice the Executioner.
Oh, that's mean.
Long before I returned to Akama, Aglaya had already dispatched her to monitor me. If I weren't able to reach this place in time, I would have been forced to meet Thanatos first. As compared to a comprehensive plan with uncertain results, if you decide to cut open my chest and remove the core flame, wouldn't that settle her nerves even more? Everything is in place. She just needs the right timing.
I understand what you mean. At the very least, the both of us agree that this tyrant who wallows in extravagance and greed is the greatest threat to achieving peace in Akama.
Excuse me.
The Council of Elders is willing to defend your right to live, just as we defend every oppressed citizen.
Wallows in extravagance? That's a bit hypocritical.
However, I regret to say that sentiments
She's probably the least greedy of anyone.
Chrysos heirs and Aglaya are only growing in magnitude. The peace that we are aspiring toward, as well as everything that we hold dear, will be destroyed completely. The city will be burned to ashes, and the citizens' blood will be shed. Tell me, what are you willing to do for our esteemed citizens so that they can vanquish the enemies of our fine city?
Enemies are the Black Tide. Garnering my support is the equivalent of garnering the support of the entire Grove, which is basically just Anaxagoras anyway, at this point. Yeah, how do you plan to do that in Anaxagoras?
Although the circumstances are rather unfortunate from an objective point of view, it is an undeniable fact that ever since the Grove was attacked, I have become the de facto leader of the Grove. The Council of Elders needs more backing if it wishes to topple Aglaya, and it's evident that the Academy wields considerable influence. At the very least, I have served as the Grove's special envoy to Akama for a significant amount of time. Of course, this also means that I will hold a crucial vote at the Citizens' Assembly.
In the name of Kefali, Akama thanks you for your sincere and valuable thoughts. At this stage, it's clear that you and I understand the benefits to be won from this discussion. Let me put it plainly. The Council of Elders has always been renowned for its fairness, and that fairness is built on a foundation of sincerity.
Sure.
The Council of Elders has vowed to all citizens of Akaba that it will always remain loyal to them. As for you, my lord, how will you guarantee that you will be able to live up to such earnestness and will not betray Akama's indomitable citizens when the opportunity presents itself? Just as you now betray Aglaya when it suits you.
He's never been on the Aglaya's side. Although, I think that might just be an act. How absurd. My loyalty is unquestionable. I said that's a good reasoning. That's good reasoning there.
Surely you jest. My loyalty does not need to be proven. The fact that the Council of Elders is asking for proof of my loyalty is itself akin to a form of betrayal.
I am incredibly honored to have witnessed the both of you bury the hatchet in a civilized manner. However, I am afraid that I must interrupt for a brief moment. As the Theoros, I have observed the following. Lady Aglaya, the Goldweaver, is currently on her way to Dawncloud.
Oh. Well, I do believe that we might have a slight overabundance of guests today.
Feeling dissatisfied, Lady Kindness? Despite the Council of Elders' lofty residence on Dawncloud, it must still tolerate the whims of the Chrysos heirs.
So you were holding back just now. Seems like you are better at playing this game than I. In any case, I'm glad that she's arriving here. So tell me, Anaxagoras, now that you're an ally of mine, if Aglaya were to demand that I hand you over, what should I do?
You can do as she says. Tell her that the Council of Elders merely wished to chat with me and had no intention of offending her. However, by doing so, the authority of the Council of Elders will be as thin as papyrus that has been soaked in blood. Not only can it be destroyed at the slightest touch, but the Council will also lose possession of a valuable core flame. No, more like 2 core flames. After all, at the next Citizens' Assembly, that young lady who is synonymous with death will also be standing on our side.
Oh? How can you be sure of that?
Is that of importance to you? All you need to know is that I have a plan. In my opinion, you should be more worried about the impending threat. If Aglaya can seize me in full view of the masses today, she could also dismiss the entire Council of Elders in one fell swoop tomorrow. If that happens, the discussion that we've just had will turn into an utter joke instead. Is this the outcome that you wish to see, Lady Kindness?
Fine. I will handle this matter appropriately. But you do best to remember this. Fool the people and karma will be on your tail. I'll overlook it this time, but don't count on there being a next time. Unless, of course, you crave cruel punishment and consider suffering the perfect state to ponder the true nature of souls.
Well, what do you know? That happens to be one of my rare talents.
We shall see, then.
I couldn't follow that discussion at all.
I've got to say that you've managed to really impress me again. But shouldn't you be going after more?
What did he obtain?
Dying to know what I'm after.
Look through his memories.
I mean, I'm the reason Titan after all. It is in me to ask and seek answers.
Why are you bothering to ask? Just look.
Easy there. You'll learn the answer soon enough. I didn't bring it up with her purely because she doesn't have the means to give me what I truly want. It's as they say, onlookers see most clearly. The true masters of Dawncloud have always been the Theoros, who watches over everything.
Let's look around real quick. Phew. 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 Shapes. There we go.
Go melt it down.
Any butterflies? No, doesn't look like it. Chest. Again, expecting more butterflies, but maybe not.
An expected visitor. Welcome once again. You know, you could actually skip all the pointless debate and come straight to me to seek an audience with Kefali. I have no reason to refuse you, do I?
You may not, but Kindness has. Whoever gets hold of Kefali's core flame will get to rule over Akama. She's wary of me, so naturally I had to gain her trust. I would say that debate was not at all pointless.
Very true.
In my view, this individual has gone to great lengths to get close to Kefali. He might very well be plotting something nefarious against the Titan. Are you still willing to let him pass, knowing this?
Yes, very much so. All living creations are always free to visit Kefali's transcendent vessel. This comes with being the World-Bearer.
How convenient it is to be able to hear what they say.
It is truly my honor to speak to a venerated Titan in person. Please, go ahead. Let me join you both on this journey. Oh, a bygone myth tells of an occasion where Kefali once answered their followers' questions on the peak of the Holy Mountain. Their followers have since believed that scaling this Titan cliff is one way of being with the god.
Hear that? It's not every day that you get to climb a mountain with Circes. You should sing me a hymn of praise.
Titan hymns are beyond me.
Faster, Legus. Ta-da!
Watch this magic trick.
I think that stuns or something. Still no butterflies that I'm seeing. Aha! Neither had to be one. Fate has guided you to my hiding place. Bzz. I found it myself. Fate is like the knot tied by my master, or the thread spun by my lady. They entwine and weave to form the bonds that connect us. And it's these bonds that let you define me. Bzz.
Go on ahead. Take this Yanis shortcut, and the long pilgrimage stairway will be waiting for you at its end.
I have to admit, I never expected you to not ask me anything. Not even my motive.
Because I know very well what it is you are after. As the saying goes, a gentleman helps others achieve their goals. I have a feeling that your theory will be validated at the end of this journey. I believe Kefali will not deprive you of your right to ask your question, especially now that you're on the brink of death. You must be closer to Kefali than anyone else. Wouldn't you agree?
I hope things go as you say, then.
Putting a child of justice into a farcical world is bound to turn it upside down. It is my hope that you bring a much-needed change to this world which is on the brink of destruction.
Don't know what to make of that guy. Supposedly he's a neutral party, but he seems oddly not. Oh, so that's where Kefali's hand was pouring into the lake.
All things are connected by origin.
Maybe I just misjudged the perspective.
Honestly, this is my first time going up to Dawncloud's peak.
What a splendid view. Isn't it about time you recognize the magnificence of us Titans?
Well, I don't see how this place is different from those temples in the city. All they have are magnificent facades. And even though I've come this far, I'm still doubtful about getting useful clues from him.
I must be getting ahead of myself to be expecting to hear something nice from you.
Oh? Haven't you been in my head for some time now? It's high time you get used to how I feel about things. Alright, we're just a short hike away from Kefali. No time to waste here.
So the intellectual debate from earlier was too draining for you, huh? If Amphoreus gets a new lease on life, you should focus on strengthening your body and stop shirking social interactions.
Save your concern.
The Titan is in sight. Can you make it?
Why? Are you going to carry me up if I were to fall now?
You know, I gotta say, Anaxagoras' character, it's like... it's not really a tsundere, but he keeps flitting back and forth between like being insulting and arrogant and just insufferable and talking normally. And it's given me a little bit of whiplash. And it's like, is there a deeper meaning to that, or is it just poorly written? Or is it just poorly translated? I can't really tell. Because I read about some of the translations for Dr. Ratio in other languages. He's not really like as much of a jerk. He just is like, how to put it? He's less like insulting in other languages. He just is more like matter of fact. Whereas in the English translation, he's like, I'm so smart and you're so dumb. So I wonder if they're doing the same thing with Anaxagoras, especially since he seems to be so like Dr. Ratio in some ways. I don't know. Let's keep going.
I know how far I can go, so just hold your tongue and come along.
Fine then. I guess I won't say any more. I'll just wait till your soul dissipates completely to gain control over your body.
Wait. Who is that? Circe's? Hey, look at that.
Huh? What should I be looking at?
hallucinating? Or do we even get to see souls when we're close to dying?
Well, that was the case. She's right next to you. Again, why is she asking so many questions to him, though? Like, she's in his head. She can see his memories, which means that she can see what he sees. What is the disconnect here? I mean, I'm sure it's mainly just for storytelling purposes, but, like, it's not that, like, believable? Why are there rocks floating here? Actually, it's a silly question. There's floating rocks everywhere. I feel like there should be a bug around here somewhere. Just do a quick circle around. Sometimes they hide them on the edges of things.
Oh? Why didn't you bring your favorite spear with you on this trip, Nias?
Nias. I know I've heard this name somewhere.
It's Nikador.
It's unfortunate. The Black Tide destroyed every last inch of my calyx.
How could that be? Even a creation of Georios, from their prized ores and molten fire, couldn't escape the fate of destruction?
Hey, Circes. Do you know a certain Nias?
Nias? No, not that I remember. How did you even think up such a strange name?
What?
I just saw him. Nias. A warrior-like figure who was just chatting with you here.
No, I have no such memory. Could you be hallucinating?
This is a departed spirit?
Or a memory? Hello? Oh. For greetings to Kefali. This pilgrimage is platform. This is a pilgrimage. Third time's the charm. Hold on. This is a pilgrimage platform dedicated to devout believers, but you, Anaxagoras, never kneel to false gods. Butterfly? Nope. Oh. Hello. You do not look like a memory. You look like a ghost. Same with you too. At least I'm assuming that, like, the crystallized or crystal-looking forms are memories, but you're just transparent and invisible, so I think you're just a ghost.
Go melt it down.
Look at these little bells. Those are nifty. Little wind chimes or something? Again, I'm surprised by the lack of butterflies here. Oh look, there's a whatchamacallit coin. Which means the hand of Zagreus must be around here somewhere too. Speaking of which...
You two again.
Oh, and there's the butterfly.
Enough about me. Did Kaos ever reply to you?
House?
Well, regrettably.
Seems like the price of becoming a demigod is a lot heftier than we thought.
House. Demigod.
Oh. Wait. So, even just based on the shape of Amphoreus, it would make sense that this world is cyclical. Perhaps every like generation of demigods become the new titans of the next era nova, and then it starts all over again. So maybe Circe's is the current iteration of or incarnation of the Reason Titan. But then when Era Nova comes, if we kind of follow along this path, whoever becomes the demigod will become the new Titan in Era Nova. And the cycle will just like happen over and over again. So maybe like this is like when they were demigods in the previous era, or I guess the previous like cycle of Amphoreus.
I've never heard of this person. Which Titan's authority did he inherit?
Look on the bright side, Nias. Since we've come all this way, I doubt he'd snub his old friends, would he?
Let's just hope we mean as much as the world to him.
Oh. Does Chaos become Kefali?
Hey! Are you seeing that same hallucination again?
She kind of just sounded like Navi from Link. Hey! Listen! Hey! Hey!
Yes, it's still you and Nias, but you're now talking about a certain Chaos. I'm guessing he's one of your companions?
Chaos? This name sounds just as strange to me.
Never mind. I think I know what this is about. If things are as I thought, then they aren't hallucinations, but the souls of people.
What? But if those are the souls of the dead, then what am I?
Beats me. For all I know, you're just an illusion I conjured up in my dying moments.
Maybe the core flame is actually a crystallization of their like essence or memory? Kind of like how our main character, the Trailblazer, is apparently dead but walking around.
Let's just keep going. As long as I take in more sights and hear more stories.
Know your limits. Wander too far among the dead, and even I might not be able to save you.
I'm fine.
Sure you are.
If this is indeed as I thought, then this will be very amusing.
Oh, found all the coins and another butterfly.
All things are connected.
Okay, let's grab those coins then real quick. Zoom. Let's see, so there's one by the waterfall. Where's the waterfall coin? Wait, where am I? Where was I? No, I'm down here. Okay. So the waterfall I was looking at, there it is. Oh, another butterfly. This is where all the butterflies are. Oh, 5 coins. I wish to swim against the current of time's river, and yet I cannot resist the torrents nor resign myself to drifting along and giving up. In the end, I'm left stranded in the middle of a journey. Perhaps it's just the life of a butterfly. Okay. Then there's a butterfly right here. Nothing is impossible if you keep trying. One day I'll climb to the top of the cliff and stand shoulder to shoulder with the sun bearer. Bzz. Wait, how can you fly? That's unfair. Bzz. Oh, I can fly too. Never mind then. Bzz. And then There's another one over here, along with a coin. Pretty big butterfly. Yank. Oh, you're stuck. Origami fly. Something about that mural fears off. The many-eyed blind figure seems to be missing a few feathers. Tweet. Why could that be? Is it a revelation granted by my master? Or a connection beyond time and space? Tweet. Oh, origami fly. He's mixing genres here, or mixing worlds here. Interesting. Actually, it's more interesting that that mural, like, goes inside of the crevice here. That doesn't make a ton of sense. Okay, that was all the butterflies I saw. Now, where was that other coin that I saw? Let's see, so I was here, and from here I saw one over there. There it is. There's coin number 3. How far can we go? Oh, nope, can't go through here. Okay. Yeah, we can go pretty far. Although apparently not here. I don't even have a boundary marker here. Well, that's annoying. Let's see. How high can we go? Nope, that's as high as we go. Okay. Then maybe we'll go down to find more of the coins. Look around the nooks and crannies. There's one. One more coin of whimsy to find. Yep, thought so. Keep going, up, 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 up. Okay, there's the top. Oh, there it is. Yay! Okay. And I think... I mean, there's 3 butterflies in here, which is much more than I expected, but I didn't see any other ones as I was flying around. So yeah, let's disengage. Excuse me, this is my chest, not yours.
Not too shabby. Useful for alchemy.
Ooh, crit damage. Save that one. Oh wait, except that we wanted to decrease speed for that one. That one has a speed stat. Whatever, it's gone now. Another ghost. But why are these ghosts not like all crystallized? Oh, there's a butterfly though. Ding-a-ling. Wish fly. It's said that tying a wind chime while making a wish here allows the sun bearer to hear our desires. My wish is simple. I hope for sunshine tomorrow to dry my dew-soaked wings. Aw. And we got another puzzle. Another 7. So we need him to go down and then land on the blue, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 7. No, that's not gonna work. Huh. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's true. I guess I don't need him to end on it. I just need him to walk on it. I think this will work. 1, 2, 3. Ah, there you go. Yay! Okie doke.
So, we meet again. I'm sure you wouldn't mind a snooping ear.
Can you keep going?
Of course. I'm just... If I knew we had to climb a mountain, I wouldn't have come along with you.
I guess this also counts as one aspect of the world-bearing burden. If Amphoreus does have a next life, you may want to get your body in shape.
Keep your sarcasm to yourself.
I think he's being serious.
I'm not getting anything of value from them.
I would sooner throw myself off this cliff and hit rock bottom than exercise even a little.
That's something.
I am Calypso of the eminent Seven Sages, after all. Training would make me no different from those Helcalithist barbarians.
Calypso. She's one of the Seven Sages. A member of the Grove? No, she can't be. I would know her name if she really were one of the Seven Sages.
From a past era, though, or past iteration.
Circes. Does the name Calypso ring a bell? Circes? Daggone.
Where'd she go?
Doesn't matter. I can do this myself.
How could
Looks
she
like
be
I'm
done?
nearly there now. The land of the dead.
Should probably be keeping an eye out for more bugs.
Oh, beautiful old world. Where are you now? Oh, legendary era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm. Splendid gods once walked the paths we walk. Alas, all that's left of that warmth is a hazy mirage.
Why are you chanting that too?
Is that old Circe's or current Circe's? Devoted emissaries, heretical scholars, the lost wanderer, and the desperate outlaw. At the edge of divinity, we look up in awe. In a fleeting moment of terror, the long road behind fades from memory. It's over here. I notice they like to hide the bugs at the edges of things. So just keeping an eye out. Are you piggies guarding the thing, the treasure? Why are you floating still while this one's hovering up and down?
Not too shabby. Useful for alchemy.
Meh. Again, I'm expecting a bug, but I'm not seeing them. He is big.
We're here. Finally. So, I don't get to ask the Titan my question, but all of you make for a pleasant surprise, nonetheless. Very well then. Let me uncover the truth for myself. Did I still fail to make it in time? So, I'm back here again. I can hear it. I hear it from the depths of the tides, behind the closed doors of the void world. A voice ready to tell me something. This time, the voice is a lot clearer than before.
Might not be a good thing. Oh.
Since we've come this far, let's just wait.
Lord Nias and Miss Calypso, are you both here to visit Chaos too?
Yes, and we've been waiting for quite some time now.
Regrettably, he hasn't answered us. The worst-case scenario is that he's already been overwhelmed and crushed by the world-bearing burden.
You're overthinking, Lord Nias. I can still sense Chaos' soul in the area. And besides, we both know Chaos' nature. A deliverer like him wouldn't fall so readily, much less give up on all that he holds dear. Isn't that so?
Yes, I have faith in him.
That reminds me. Why are you making this trip alone, Polyxia?
Polyxia?
Oh,
My sister needs more time to make sure the flowers are fine.
Such a pity. Both of you have hearts kinder than anyone else. Yet you are born only to take over Thanatos' divinity.
Everything that I see and hear this time has left me shaken to the core. What may seem like a mundane conversation is in truth a once-in-a-lifetime exchange that has revealed the ultimate answer to Circe's question. The conjecture has taken shape and must now be solidified into a theorem. Next, I only need to seek verification from Kefali. By doing so, I can answer Circe's question and reclaim my body. But no, I will not do that. That isn't important. Because another one of my conjectures, one that I have always dreamed of proving, has been proved right this very instant. Fusing a mortal soul with that of a Titan to replace said Titan is not a ludicrous idea after all.
Oh, done hung.
What are you thinking about?
Just amazed at how this towering tree is Circe's divine body. It's a majestic sight.
Is that so? You don't look the slightest bit amazed, though. Plus, you seem to be strangely familiar with the city around the great tree.
Merely something from the past that I won't go into.
Events of the past, huh? I was also a child when I looked up at Circe's. Their leaves and branches reflected the sparkling stars, and their trunk was like a pillar that supported the sky and ground. I stood at this very spot back then, imagining the day when I could climb to the top of this tree, because I would be the closest I can be to the sky at that spot.
You are a sky priest, yet you study at a place that is home to the Reason Titan. That's rather counterintuitive.
Don't read too much into it. I mean, can mortals even hope to reach Aquila's realm? They're a strict and draconian god. Nothing like Circe's. Reason is willing to share what is theirs with others, but Sky only expects people to revere them. You get what I'm saying, right, Denny? After all, the Titan that imprisoned you and Grey here in Amphoreus is none other than Aquila themselves.
Yes, I didn't count on provoking the ire of a local god.
But there will always be people who dream of soaring towards the sky. The Grove has a wealth of research on Aquila, and that is exactly what we are here for. It's just, I never thought Grey would meet with something like that before we set off. As a physician, I should have been there by his side.
What happened to me? Bad luck tends to come in streaks, so don't beat yourself up over it. Besides, Aglaia needs you here to uncover the truth behind what happened to the Grove. Let's just make the most of this trip and keep a lookout for any documents related to the Death Titan. They could be useful to Averick. Oh yeah, I think where I left off, I was doing the trial of Orynyx.
Yeah, there's no rest for the weary, huh? In any case, what we're looking for could be anywhere in this enormous grove. Let's split up to cover more ground. Danny, with your skills, I'm sure those monsters born of the Black Tide will pose no threat to you anyway.
What about you? Will you be alright on your own?
Have you forgotten that you're talking to the chief physician of the Twilight Courtyard? Have more faith in me. I'll be just fine.
Well, just because you're a physician doesn't mean that you're good in combat. The silence here is near deafening. With the vast amount of knowledge it holds, this academy is akin to a labyrinth of information. Even the cleverest of scholars would easily lose their way in here. I should gather my thoughts before heading in. I had to leave Amphoreus. In the midst, Aquila, the titan who reigns over the domain of the skies, is a colossal bird that overlooks the world beneath them with 100 eyes. As long as they continue to soar above the clouds, the people of Amphoreus will remain trapped on the ground. Hyacinth's forebears were priests who worshipped Aquila. Nobody's more familiar with the taboos of the Sky Titan than her. Seeing how Aglaia has sent her as a guide, it's possible that she plans to have Hyacinth take on a trial in the future. Amphoreus' Titan mythology. In Amphoreus, Titans are a common topic of discussion. People create myths that, in turn, conceive Titans. It's a tricky task to keep an objective view in among the people of Amphoreus. I think the Titans exist outside a myth here. Is there a way to step out of the situation and look at it from a different perspective? No, more options. Titans and Eons. Titans and Eons are two distinct classes of beings. Titans can communicate with us humans, and it is not impossible for us to overpower them. Upon their demise, we can even take over their divinity. In this regard, Titans can be said to be a lot more similar to humans than Eons are. Chrysos heirs are humans who possess heroic qualities, with most of them demonstrating extraordinary combat prowess and strength. Upon clearing a core flame trial, a Chrysos heir can even ascend to a demigod and inherit a Titan's divinity. Wait, something about that feels off. Is this a selection process of some sort? Guided by the prophecy, the heroes are on a quest to reclaim core flames and usher in the Era Nova. Their efforts have seen gratifying results to date. As I expected, the prophecy is the hardest to make any sense of. But with barely any information to go on, no matter how much I ruminate on it, it won't yield any results. I should leave this for another time. I should probably turn my attention to something else. Nobody could have imagined that Avaric's life would be forfeited the moment we landed on Amphoreus. I should have done more to keep him safe. But it's not too late. We still have a fighting chance. The unique rules that govern life and death on Amphoreus might just work in our favor and save him. The Grove is a veritable library of knowledge. Maybe they'll have records on a similar case? Please let there be one. The clock is ticking. I should search for clues as I move. Sky Night feels unusual, now that I've gotten used to the eternal light of Akama. Okay, where are we going? Oh, we're in a little trial thingy. Okay. Gotta reactivate the anchors. Like monsters are twisted in form, and their life is turned to ash together with their souls. It's impossible to figure out their form when they were still alive. These are the remains of a black tide monster. It does look different from the Titankin from up close. What's that underneath it? A scroll? Scholars' debates. As I expected, the Grove doesn't forbid discussions about the sky. It's a debate between two scholars about the sky ships. Aglaia also made mention of the ships when she interrogated us, a memory I'd rather forget. I'll hold on to this for now. With any luck, this journey won't leave us empty-handed. Oh, hello. Hyacinth, you okay?
Let's wait and see.
That's Hyacinth. Why is she surrounded by so many monsters? As much faith as I have in her, it's probably a good idea to help her out here.
Really now? This is way more trouble than I could have asked for.
Need a hand?
Or you could sit back and watch.
I can't tell if you're serious or not. But being hard to read isn't without its perks, I suppose.
I'm kidding, Danny. Lend me a hand, pretty please. All right, now let's get him.
I want to see your pudgy little Pegasus.
Can you find the answer?
Burn it all! Forever do it! I'll accept your punishment. Through my blood. Forever do it!
Aha. I win. This place is practically in ruins. What happened? There shouldn't be this many monsters here.
The black tide is remarkably quick to detect the light of Amphoreus. So or rather, the blessings of the Sky Priest in me, might have unknowingly called them to me. Anyway, never mind that for now. Here, you might want to have a look at this. I found it around here and thought it might be of interest to you.
More scholars' debates. Anaxa. He's the scholar who fused himself with the core flame of reason.
This is new. I didn't know Professor Anaxa was researching the sky. He's never mentioned anything about it.
Finan said Anaxa might be opposed to the Flamechase Journey.
Might is an understatement. Anaxa has never been one to venerate the gods, nor has he ever found it within himself to put any faith in the prophecy. People have come to think of him as a heretic, even in a place as liberal as the Grove. Yet, it is also this very blasphemer that Circe's favors. Fate sure works in mysterious ways.
I picked up a scroll on my way here, too. It looks like it might be related to the one you're holding.
Oh? Let me have a look.
Hyacinth combines both records together. How convenient.
By the looks of them, these scrolls are records of two conversations that took place in the same setting, one after the other.
There's still much I don't know about the Grove. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure, go ahead. The Grove of Epiphany is home to 7 schools of thought. While all 7 schools are founded on the ideologies of Polyxia, the first scholar, each is unique in its own way. Among them, the Venerationists revere and worship the Titans the most. As the sage of the Venerationists, Euthyphro has always been at loggerheads with Anaxa. If we were to place the 7 sages on the scales of Talanton, Anaxa and Euthyphro would be placed on opposite sides to achieve balance.
A very illustrative explanation. Thank you. Was it a mistake to build the skyships?
Nearly everyone in Amphoreus has heard the story of the skyships by now. Aquila's stature is loftier than the heavens, and their divine retribution is merciless. That's why it's no use building giant skyfaring ships. Oh, but I do wonder if a supercharged mini treaty cannon could slip past their watch.
That was a joke, right? What is Anaxa's field of study?
Newsporists primarily study the application of alchemy in soul repair.
Soul repair?
Everyone considers Anaxa a blasphemer, but that has never stopped him from sharing his ideas, no matter how taboo. If you must say that he's hiding something, then it's likely what lies beneath his eye patch. Anaxa often says that every failure brings us one step closer to the truth. Perhaps, to him, the crash of the skyship carries a different interpretation. The firmament is not impenetrable. On the contrary, it was precisely because the skyship represented the first step toward breaking free from the shackles of the earth that it provoked the wrath of the Sky Titan and brought divine punishment upon itself. It's a shame that the majority of the Grove's research on Aquila was headed by the Venerationists, with sacrificial rituals making up a predominant part of their findings. Discourse about more esoteric subject matters in relation to Aquila dwindled even further after the skyship incident. So much so that even the scroll is completely new to me.
Don't worry about it. We'll just collect everything we can, or everything we can find in the Titans for now. There's something else that caught my attention, though. This says that Anaxa's conducting secret experiments of some sort?
That's what I'd like to know. What are these experiments he's involved in? Even I, the assistant lecturer, know next to nothing about them. I have a bad feeling about this. Could there be more to what happened at the Grove? This is the Library of Philia, a place where the Grove stores its collection of tomes. Other than books written by the 7 schools, you can also find philosophical texts, ballads, and religious writings from the Outlands here. Cities that desire to learn from the Grove were apparently expected to contribute knowledge of equal value to what they sought. We've had more than our fair share of hilarious episodes over the years. For instance, it's said that the Erythrocheramists once borrowed a manuscript from a certain author, but ended up returning a copy instead of the original. What's more, the original manuscript was supposedly then hidden here.
That doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
Nice? No need to hold yourself back, Danny. You can just tell it like it is. Their behavior was no different from bandits.
But if they returned a copy, is that really a problem? Well, if you don't mind, did the Grove ever rob Castrum Kremnos?
Whew. You've got me there. Some said you couldn't even find a dictionary in Castrum Kremnos, so I guess they were spared. There are too many books in the Library of Philia. Flipping through them all will take too long. Why don't we use the Biblioslate to search for the texts we need? We can bring them back to Akama for reading after that.
Agreed. This place isn't safe. We should leave as soon as we're done. There's still several more scrolls strewn all over the place. I'll gather them while you pull up those texts. This way, nothing will be overlooked. Should have been a period or a semicolon at the end there. But whatever. Can't go that way. These are complaint letters from the scholars about Anaxagoras the Blasphemer. There's a thick stack of letters. Based on the dust accumulated in the perfectly intact seals, the complainant did not even bother opening them and just chucked them aside into the corner. This is about Anaxa. I should read this. Hyacinth, you should come have a look too.
Ugh, it's so dusty in here. Whoa. Are these all complaints about him? I can already see what they must have written. Anaxa has no respect for the gods. His very existence undermines order in our society.
Is that... sorry, kind of jumped ahead there. Does Anaxa hold that much influence?
Why else would they call him the Great Performer? When Anaxa established his school of thought, the first thing he apparently did was read his own work to everyone. Are the Titans truly an accurate reflection of what humans think gods should be? Worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect, but what of Amphoreus? Only foolishness and insensitivity everywhere you turn.
Again, for someone that espouses to be so rational, worlds created by gods are indubitably perfect. Where are you getting that statement from? Why is that your basis of reasoning? An uncanny impersonation. What happened after?
They marched him straight to the seat of judgment before he could finish. Though what he took on in the end was more of a debate than an actual trial. He had to address every one of the scholars' allegations, or face expulsion from the grove. The first allegation was... Do you agree that since the Titans created the heavens and earth, so the mountains, rivers, and seas must likewise be their creations?
Am I supposed to put myself in Anaxa's shoes and answer that? As told in the myths, the skies, the seas, and the earth and all, beyond the shadow of a doubt, were creations of the Titans.
Anaxa would have probably been spared a lot of trouble if he had answered this way. Instead, he quoted past instances of the Flamechase Journey and posited that humans have the potential to take over the divinity of Titans. Needless to say, his critics didn't take kindly to his answer, so they followed up with a second allegation. You claim to be studying souls, yet you are, in fact, defiling them and committing acts condemned by the gods. Do you admit it?
That's a serious allegation. Did he really do that?
Anaxa always wears an eye patch, never removing it, even when alone. Some say he used one of his eyes as an alchemical ingredient. Every being in the world owes their safekeeping to Kithily, and this is even more so for the Chrysos heirs who have divine blood coursing through them. If he has really done something of that nature, then it'd indeed be sacrilegious. Thankfully, they had no way to prove it, so it amounted to nothing more than an allegation in the end. One by one, Anaxa engaged in wars of words against those who would challenge him. Toward the end, a scholar asked him, "Anaxagoras, have you any respect for the gods?" It was only after a brief silence that he answered, "I have never denied that Titans are meant to be noble constructs."
But he didn't say that the Titans are not noble. Rings louder in this case. Oh, meant to be noble constructs. Intriguing difference. Hold on, I gotta close the window. Okay, I'm back.
sure how that controversy was eventually resolved. But what's for certain, at least, is that Anaxa was allowed to stay in the grove where he continued his research, despite being regarded as a heretic. By the way, this stack of complaint letters has reminded me of a place in the grove. We may find clues there that aren't on the teleslate. I'm talking about Anaxa's alchemy lab, hidden between the cornerstones.
Given the Grove's meticulous approach to archiving, could there really be such an oversight right under their noses?
It's a well-kept secret. Among the 7 sages, excluding the nominal chief sage, each has a private sanctuary where they can conduct research undisturbed in their free time. Even the administrators of the Library of Philia are restricted from accessing those places and documenting the sage's research. But with the grove in this state, I'm sure Anaxa won't be mad even if we sneak into the lab for a short while. Right?
Where are we heading next? Nope, not gonna tell me. Fine. Let me up. Let me up. Too slow. Gotta go fast.
This is the place, but where is everything? Materials for alchemical experiments, matrix diagrams, and even the seal to the lab. They're all gone. Did the black tide destroy it all?
No wonder we didn't see any defense mechanisms along the way. Have you ever been here before?
No, not even close. Not only are alchemy experiments high-risk activities, but Professor Anaxa also has a penchant for using bizarre materials. Students often saw him walk in looking right as rain, but come out covered in soot with his hair singed. Naturally, no one dared to come near this place. Huh? That bookshelf over there seems to be the only thing still intact.
You hear somebody stomping around. In the game, that is. These are the materials requested by Anaxagoras. Documents from various fields have been compiled in one place, including Titan creations, universality of the soul, alchemy doctrine, and so on. Most of the materials look to be within the research domain of the Nusporus school of thought. However, a document titled A Study on the Crisis Heir's Background is mixed within. Whoa, Castorice has been alive for 1,000 years?
What's going on? Anaxa is conducting research on our friends in Alchema and me?
This journal contains several intriguing points. From the Abyss of Fate to Castum Kremnos, I've seen many a Titan creation during my time in Amphoreus. Lifeforms created by Circes can also be found in the Grove. But fusing them with human souls through alchemical means? I can't even begin to imagine. Anaxa seems to hold special interest in the divinity coursing through the Chrysosaur's veins, and has even conducted a thorough investigation into the heroes' backgrounds.
It wouldn't have been so strange if he had focused only on Cassie, given her own curiosity about her origins. Plus, considering that the new sporists have crafted omnipotent medicines capable of curing diseases,
You mean
it also makes
omnipotent?
sense that he would conduct research on immortal Chrysos heirs.
It feels like the Princess Bride. I'm not sure you know what that word means. I mean, omnipotent means like all-powerful medicines. Have they really created those? Maybe they have, who knows?
But now, it seems Anaxa's objective was never to create medicine, but to identify the origin of the golden blood and figure out its inner workings.
And a bad research topic. Through alchemy, Anaxa aims to refine the golden blood in the Chrysosaurs to a degree of purity equal to divinity. This must be what he means by close to true purity, but treating both Titan creations and the human body as materials to be used in alchemy experiments? That's rather extreme.
Danny, look at this. I have a bad feeling about this.
Various process flaws. Does not purify golden blood. Even pure Titan creations are contaminants to the golden blood. Soul fusion between humans and creations merely repairs impurities of the soul or maintains a connection to dying souls.
My biggest fear. It's come true. After going through his notes, I think I can piece it all together now. Anaxa was carrying out experiments on soul transmutation.
Do you mean he's trying to reconstruct human souls alchemically?
Yes, this is what he was secretly conducting research on. Something he had to keep hidden from others. Compared to his public speeches, this is the real blasphemy. Oh, I just thought of something.
What's wrong?
Do you remember when the Black Tide was approaching? The Grove had planned to send Circe's core flame to a safe place. But an accident happened along the way, and Anaxa lost his life in the process.
But Circe took over his body and resurrected him, which led to the situation we're in now.
That's right. But what if Professor Anaxa's fusion with the core flame of reason wasn't an accident?
What do you mean?
Put yourself in his shoes. Knowing that the Black Tide was closing in and your time was running out, what would you have done?
I'd put my theories to the test, no matter the cost.
Exactly. When the Black Tide came, the true reason Anaxa headed to the Luminary Throne was to transmute and fuse himself with the Titan's core flame.
Are we retconning things a bit? Because I thought Circe said that she put the core flame into his lifeless body. Did he succeed?
No. Judging from how he reacted after the event, the results came as a surprise. Maybe he failed to consider the possibility that Circe would make a similar decision.
Oh, so he tried and failed, and then Circe put the core flame inside of him. Okay.
The manuscripts detailing all the alchemical formulae have been taken away. His research is still ongoing.
Could he have taken them for other purposes?
Like, what? There's only one Titan left in the world now. No. No way.
To conceive an entity of perfection, one must first understand the principles of creation. If Anexa's in Akama now, then that means...
He's after Kefali.
Sir, this sky above us, it's not real, is it?
Of course not. This is just an image from a projection device used for educational purposes. A simple trick. The day-night cycle has been lost to this world. So that students like you may still learn about the night sky, astronomers have harnessed the Titan's miraculous power to manipulate the light, projecting the nights of the past here for you. Much like how the sky above the Holy City is also illuminated by Kefali's dawn device.
So, the skies of Akama are fake too.
You mustn't conclude that, Anaxa. You should know that only a child would expose a trick and be proud of it. Often people know more than they let on. They simply choose to feign ignorance because they have no other choice.
Then they're just deluding themselves. People believe in Kefali's tale of Genesis, accepting wholesale whatever the priests preach. But we're different. We've already walked out of the firelit cave of ignorance. We have already realized that we live in a world where Titans make the rules. Even when we look at the sky, we're only seeing what they allow us to see. Rather than gazing at this mockery of a night sky fabricated by them for the rest of my life, why shouldn't I be the one to take control of the projection device instead?
So much time has passed since you sowed the seeds of doubt in my heart, child. Many a night, I find myself penning down all my theories and wild ideas, only to burn them to ashes when I open my eyes in the day.
Why? Because we'll face death by burning if word gets out?
As a sage of the Venerationists, my soul has already become inextricably linked to the great tree. Every word I say and every move I make is certain to influence every leaf, every branch, even the tree itself. But above all else, my days are numbered. Instinctively, I have my doubts about the golden blood and the human soul, yet I have no means of verifying them. The golden blood in my veins is woefully thin, and I am loath to waste what little time I have left obsessing over a hypothesis that cannot even be proven in the first place.
But I can, sir. I can do it for us. The time is right. Give me all that I need, and I shall accomplish this grand feat on your behalf.
You're right. I shall do just that. In the next meeting of the sages, I will spare no efforts fighting for the rights you deserve. Go. Establish your own school of thought. Find out what we are. Become the one who conquers the ultimate truths of the world.
Child of humanity. You didn't go to such lengths for an audience with Kefali. Just ask him a few questions, did you?
So, you figured it out. If I were as foolish as a Dromus, perhaps I'd throw myself down and prostrate before their greatness, begging for the gods' prophetic wisdom. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I'm no Dromus. Alas. I am a human, standing tall on 2 feet, possessing both intellect and pride.
Before such power, does it make any difference whether you're a human or a Dromus?
I'm sure you're familiar with the story of the Styxians. When the raging waves threatened to swallow them, they didn't just give up and become sitting ducks. No. They constructed a dam that kept the roaring tide at bay, chaining down the mad Fagusa. They call me a blasphemer, Circes. But that doesn't mean I deny the existence of gods. It's just, as I see it, Titans are simply a force that mankind has yet to find a way to tame.
Oh? If power that rivals the Titans is what you crave, why not conform to the prophecy and brave the trial?
Why stop at harnessing the power of the Titans when I can do so much more? The source of life is what I wish to grasp, to understand what makes up the soul, and to learn what we really are. Thanks to you, I've had the chance to personally verify, in more ways than one, that the soul indeed ceases to exist in death. But where there is death, there is life. And where there is an end, there must also be a beginning. How then is a soul born? That was the only unknown variable left in my calculations.
And by the sound of it, you have already formed a conjecture.
No, I have already drawn a conclusion. In my journey unto death just now, I finally saw the answer with my own eyes.
Professor Anaxa, I'm here. His life hangs by a thread. I must ask you to refrain from taking any unnecessary steps.
Of course. I'll bring this to a conclusive end, and give you the answer you so desire. However, in accordance with the principle of equivalent exchange, I must also demand from you what I need.
As you wish.
Don't you care to know what the price might be?
It's a matter of uncovering the truth about the Death Titan and his survival. This may be the only time I can ever save someone's life. There is no need for me to think twice.
I see. In that case, let the show begin.
Indulge me. Am I correct to say that you intend to prove Thanatos' whereabouts and prove the nature of our existence now?
Before I begin, I must confess I had been stuck in a cognitive trap all this time. As unrelated as these two propositions may seem at first glance, they are in fact logical equivalents. They are merely two different ways of telling us about what the soul is at its core. The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now, but that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes. That's not all. Remember how I said you were a part of that conversation too, Circes?
And I've told you that I have no recollection of such an event. That was likely just an illusion conjured up by the mind of a dying man.
Of course you would remember. Because that wasn't you. That was Calypso, one of the 7 sages of the Grove.
Calypso?
Huh? Oh, that's the name I made up on a whim when speaking to this girl. How do you know of it? And surely you jest. Don't you think I, of all people, would know if that were the name of one of the 7 sages under the shade of my tree? Don't you claim to know the grove's past like the back of your hand?
It seems you've lost even the memories seared into your soul. Use your head, Circes. Since all of this took place in the realm of the dead, it stands to reason their likenesses are of souls from the past. The living cannot step foot into that world, so who could they be? Think about Calypso. Why does she share your likeness, yet you have no idea who she is? The answer is evident, is it not? Those fallen heroes are the mortal incarnations of the Titans before their ascensions to godhood. The gods aren't master creators born out of thin air, and they are no different from humans, because they all evolved from one. Does this answer disappoint you?
Yes, because you've answered nothing. If I truly was once human, as you claim, then where do the children of humanity come from?
Even on the off chance that you speak the truth, this brings us no closer to grasping Thanatos' whereabouts. How are we to find them?
I knew you would say that. But it matters not. I know what I'm doing. Actually, why don't we have this supreme being standing before us tell us everything?
You can revive a Titan?
Humans cannot return from the dead. Neither can gods. But all we need to do is look at this from a different perspective, and the problem will resolve itself. The solution is simple. Just like what you did to me. If I'm reborn as Kefali, I can rebuild the world and all within it as they once did. Simple, is it not?
In the meantime...
I have news from Hyacinth and Danheng. Anaxa might be trying to do something with Kefali's divine body.
Kefali? But what could Anaxa want? Is the Council of Elders going to sit around and let such a sacrilegious act unfold?
That is not possible. He is indeed the great performer, capable of fooling anyone and everyone with his tricks.
I'm sorry.
No need for guilt, for this is good news to us. The Council of Elders has found themselves a traitorous ally. Anaxa's ambitious desires will be something we can exploit. What we should be doing now is to keep our eyes peeled for whichever trickery Kynus is up to, and react accordingly to thwart her plans. Being Akima's political center, the Demigod Council holds just as much significance as the Vortex of Genesis. Someday, after my duty is over, this site will take the place of the battlefield where you hunt gods, become the next challenge you ought to overcome. Till then, it's best to get used to this place as soon as possible.
I'm gonna say, we'll be waiting here for your good news.
Preposterous! The Christos only have their standing because of the Council of Elders! How dare they trample over it!
Wow, these people are shooting daggers with their eyes.
It's been a while.
Hello, Oleg of Amphoreus? What? Oh, we've never met.
That's fine. I recognize you. The young lord has nothing but good words about your courage.
It has indeed been some time, Lord Grataros. What brings you here in such haste?
Shh, keep it down. Be more vigilant. See those duplicitous dogs over there? They do the dirty work for kindness. I've already ordered my people to hold them back, but we should still lay low. Unless you're itching for a bloody fight to get a workout in.
My bad. So, did something happen?
Did you hear thunderclaps last night?
Hooray, it's Acheron. Someone's coming to save us. No, I'm a heavy sleeper.
Thunderclaps are beacon signals of strife. They are a message from the young lord. He threw a spear bearing several words at Akama.
Watch out. The Flame Reaver is back.
I guessed as much. We didn't actually kill them back at the Kremnos Arena.
I figured this is something you would want to know. We Kremnoans never back down from a fight. So if you plan to take that thing down in a battle, reach out to me anytime.
You have my gratitude. I will let Aglaya know about this right away.
Remind her to be on her toes while you're at it. That vicious kindness has been unusually active lately. Those lackeys she keeps under cover have been going in and out of the city a lot more frequently these days. Some even seem to be getting Kremnoans to defect to the council.
How dare you! Don't place that!
That's...
Looks like you can see it for yourself.
We should get back. Thank you for the intel, Lord Krateros.
Is this gonna wrap up soon? Because I had to get going soon. Where's my pig? Zoom.
By Catholic into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed. Virtuous citizens of Akama, fine Vides, Elysiae, and the Outlander are heading...
Aglaya! What happened here?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
What do you mean?
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan, in order for me to retreat behind the scenes.
Yes, this is my duty, but...
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. There is no glory in winning this debate, but that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calictus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then, Amphoreus was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city where they hope to rest under Kefali's protection. all of us have long been in the same boat with no way out of this plight. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova, or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Make your choice.
How are you going to get back to Era Chrysia?
Which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
I mean, if it's possible. But how are we supposed to send Amphoreus back to Era Chrysia?
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the 3 Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Chrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Era Chrysia will descend upon us again. Know that the Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side. Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages, and Castorice, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these 2 heroes, I can promise all of you that Era Chrysia will exist once more.
Again, how?
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaya isn't fit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Era Chrysia.
Era Chrysia! Era Chrysia!
Era Chrysia!
Castorice? Why are you standing over there?
You finally arrived, Anaxa. So have you, Cass.
Don't worry, Aglaya. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizens, if we successfully retreat and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphoreus back to an era when all beings live forever. We'll usher in a new future that will be entirely different from the Flamechase Journey.
He's one of the 7 sages.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days?
Good point.
Remember what I previously said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Pagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions.
Ow.
Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic holy city?
It's just survivorship bias?
If we eliminate death, then there's no need for us to fear that Flame Reaver, right?
Is that how that works?
Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world, where are you now? Oh, legendary Era Chrysia, return to the mortal realm.
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the Flamechase Journey will have to end.
I'm kind of bored with this debate.
This is bad. The masses.
Anaxa, Pray tell.
Thank you, Lady Aglaya, for still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are truly fortunate and blessed. For Castorice, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my guidance.
What? With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorice brings back will be personally managed by the Council of Elders. Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Arakrysia will return to our world once again.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. Buy carefully into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed. Akama has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flamechase Journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way forward.
Aglaya, dear Aglaya, what has caused your heart to soften? You also don't seem to be as quick-witted as before.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the Flamechase Journey has been
Well,
there really wasn't much of a debate. Castorice, what's going on?
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
the reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Anaxa, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is,
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen. Until one day, an evil dragon descended upon the town. Its wings were large enough to blot out the sun, while its claws were sharp enough to rip the waves apart. It barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself in her bedroom, like a tyrant king. The queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, she realized that the princess had long since been digested, and all that was left of her was a pile of bones. Devastated, the queen wept for several days. It was then that a devious, smooth-talking scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived through the use of dragon bone and dragon blood. That liar called this process the secret art of alchemy. The princess was reborn! The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, the evil dragon swallowed the poor queen, the glib liar, the courageous warriors, and all of the town's innocent civilians in a single gulp.
Worse still, the souls of the deceased refused entry to the Netherrealm because they were filled with regret. Forced to roam the mortal realm, these resentful souls ultimately converged into a river of souls that would not retreat for a long time. The terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell into ruin as well. Until...
Until?
Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh my... It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Polyxia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy. As for what it is and how I was able to accomplish it, I'll keep the answers to myself for now.
Oh, my goodness. Is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play, and the truth will naturally reveal itself.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations. After all, you've never heard of a tradition of alchemy in your hometown before, have you?
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a fable told to young children.
A fable, you say? If so, what moral is it trying to impart to the kids?
I guess it might be the concept of equivalent exchange?
Oh? I thought the moral might be closer to something like honor the dead.
Huh.
What? At a loss for words?
No. I merely realized that we're both thinking of the same principle. If life is priceless, then there is hardly anything else in this world that is of equal weight to it, right?
Indeed. As expected of the wisest scholar in the land.
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well, as a form of equivalent exchange?
Of course. What is your question?
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're just trying to get me to tell you whether I like anyone, right?
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me.
Yes, I would.
Oh?
Death is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. After all, you, me, and the rest will all have to face that fateful moment eventually. My time is finally here. However, perhaps because of my firm belief in the immeasurable value of life, I am am unable to complete the trial.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price. Our trial can only be completed when the one chosen sacrifices her life. I'm afraid that the prophecy might even have selected a pair of twins for this exact purpose.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
Oh, that's the last
My
one.
sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same. How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death.
Just to pause really quick, looks like they've collected all the core flames aside from Thanatos. So they were actually ahead of us in their Flamechase Journey.
What should we do? If I'm ultimately not able to make up my mind...
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to the end, there is still plenty of time for you to ponder.
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing seem familiar. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection of this.
Amphoreus' history before the Titans were born was complete chaos. Is that not strange by itself? I have long held 3 hypotheses about this. However, let's continue watching for now.
Calypso, Polyxia, and this warrior. I seem to have met him somewhere before.
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Of course. Though, I am worried about what will happen once I've emerged victorious.
Please pause. I need to leave soon.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor, tenacity, sacrifice, and reason. You really know how to make things difficult.
Please, young lady, witness my fall and demise. Lady Calypso, you shall host the soul-rending ceremony.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
Because this is our destiny. The power that resides within me is so intense that I will one day be engulfed by it. Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. A journey I began long ago. If your sister or Chaos were in my position, I believe they would make the same choice as well.
I'm not that brave. I don't know how I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Okay. Sorry, I gotta actually speed through these because I really need to leave, like, imminently. So, at least you guys will be able to slow them down and pause as you go through and watch.
Let's chat, young lady. Since there's still time.
Of course. has the embodiment of Nikador's divinity. That means...
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been... If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is actually...
Polyxia.
If this is true, as long as we can find it...
But before that...
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Good. We're going to pause here because like I said, I need to go. Okay, so have a good one, everybody. Have a good day, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Bye-bye.